Well, the housing market seeing a major boom in prices. Home prices hitting a new all-time high for the fourth consecutive month in May. But could we see that acceleration start to cool in the coming months? Let's ask real estate expert Bess Freedman. Bess, it's interesting because the 30-year, we're sitting at about 3.1% right now, historically low. But yet mortgage applications dropped last month. They dropped last week, according to the latest data. So what's going on in the market?
Well, I think that during the pandemic, a lot of the suburban markets benefited greatly. And so the demand is still there in the suburbs. It's just that there's no supply. So that's why you're seeing a slowdown in places like the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, the Hamptons, Palm Beach. And New York City is the opposite. Remember, during the pandemic, we were hit so hard and a lot of people fled. And now, because we had ample supply, people have come back, and now our market is totally fluid. People are coming here, things are open. And so we're seeing a difference in New York City versus the suburbs. And I think it's going to be like that for quite some time. It's sort of a bit of a balancing act.
Well, and you're right about New York City, because you're right. Everybody fled and things were 20% off during COVID. Now you're getting into bidding wars now in New York City. That's true. But I want to talk about kind of again, going back to kind of the national story, because, if you look at what's happened with lumber prices, we've obviously got an issue there. That's the new home side of it. We're seeing new home sales slow down. Pending home sales have slowed down. And so I'm wondering if someone is still looking to maybe make that move into more of a rural market, a suburban market, are there particular parts of the country that you could recommend?
It's a challenge because, as you said, first of all, it's just more expensive. Land is more expensive. Lumber is more expensive. Labor is more expensive. And so those markets are tight. I think, places like Miami, there's still decent supply and good opportunity. But, I was in Palm Beach a few weeks ago, and it's really a dry market because there is nothing to sell anyone, because where are you going to put people? And so I think it's going to take a little bit of time until we see these markets fluid again. And in the meantime, we have to just wait it out until it sort of flip-flops.
Do you think that Americans in general are hitting an affordability wall? And I ask that because what we saw in the pandemic, to your point, was that fleeing from major U.S. cities. But where are they going? They're going to Dallas. They're going to Phoenix, Las Vegas. They were going to Florida. So is the reverse going to happen now? Are we going to see a decline in those markets?
I think we could. I know that there's a lot of first-time home buyers who want to take advantage of historically low rates. But they're just getting priced out of certain markets and they can't afford to buy certain homes in certain places. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time to reconcile that. And it's hard to say, no one has a crystal ball, but we do know that consumer confidence is up and people believe in buying a home. They want to buy a home. It's probably the biggest investment of everyone's lives. And they have that commitment. There's that desire. It's good that it's not about demand. Demand is there. It's an issue of supply. So once that sort of comes back to the middle and reconciles, there's more of an intersection with supply and demand. We'll see the markets more fluid in places like Connecticut, the Hudson Valley, et cetera.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, we always say this, real estate is local. It depends on what part of the country you're talking about. But I think the national trends have really been telling the last couple of months. So we'll see what the summer brings. Thank you very much, Bess. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Cheryl. You too.
One of my favorite topics is real estate. All right.